Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another full body workout, and it pretty much finishes up my training week, other than maybe a little bit of light hook grip work and practice I'll do on the weekend, maybe a little bit of core work on the weekend. Lower back is becoming still an issue on the right side, and it's not really injury at this point, it's just soft tissue fatigue and cramping and everything, because my right side, I lost muscle in the right leg, as you guys know. And I had pulled an erector on my left side. Well, now the right side has detrained, and I feel like it's atrophied a bit. And it definitely, when I'm trying to do front squats and stuff, it is really getting aggravated in the sense of it's actually cramping up. Funny enough, it's not bothering me on the Romanian deadlifts, right? So that's the interesting point, because that's where some shear stress would be. But it just has to do with me. I think me pulling in tight and me loading the back a little differently, it feels like that the right side just does not like even heavy compressive stress put on it. So again, I'm just going to have to just work around it, train through it, keep training my core, keep massaging my back, keep working on mobility, and it's going to work out. And actually, my legs are actually getting decent stimulation from this. I feel like I'm definitely feeling them work pretty heavy, even with these not that heavy front squats. And I feel like this will be enough to hold on to muscle while I adjust all this, and then hopefully we'll regain some of the lost muscle before the next DEXA scan in my legs. I think honestly, if we just get to the point to where halfway between this DEXA scan, I can start loading up my front squats and stuff heavier and start doing more work, I think I'll rebuild some of the lost quad mass. And I feel like stuff like the Romanian deadlifts will go ahead and rebuild any posterior chain that's atrophied. Because people need to realize, when you look at my total muscle shifting around, it's really just been lower body loss at all through my cutting. My upper body's actually done pretty well. Like the muscle I lost in my upper body on the second scan, I've regained pretty much by the third one. So we're doing good there. We're doing good. So I've more or less kept all of my upper body size for the duration of this cutting. You know, with basically 40 pounds of weight loss, I've kept my upper body. I have lost lower body mass. But keep in mind, guys, I bulked up to 250 plus and was squatting to a max every day. You guys remember, I was squatting 475, 485 every single day. Day in, day out. So again, it does take a certain amount of lower body size to do that. And so over time, though, I know the muscle memory will allow me to regain all of that, even if I don't regain it till I'm under 200 pounds, which, you know, is coming. We're going to keep cutting. We're going to keep cutting. In fact, I started my food today. I'm doing potatoes a lot. Like I did a big crock pot with like potato and chicken stew with a little bit of like a drop of sirloin thrown in there. From like basically sirloin beef stew I get in canned. I just do it as a stock. And oh my God, it's filling. It is filling. And particularly when you're fasting, it's like a big stew like that, because even that thing, I looked at what's in my crock pot. There's 200 grams of protein with only 2,500 calories in my 4-quart crock pot. I have to consume that whole thing during my feed window while intermittent fasting. You know, I'm up for a challenge finishing that today. That and a couple spoons of peanut butter in my protein shake, and I'm pretty well good for the day. But, you know, I mean, seriously, you guys are talking about cutting and appetite. Try a big meat and potato stew like done in your crock pot, particularly with like broth and everything in there. Throw a few carrots in that, and you talk about something that will stick with you, that you're going to go to bed feeling insanely full. Even in a calorie deficit, try something like that. Try something like that. Like stews are awesome because there's just so much fiber and protein and water, and you get a pretty solid nutrient profile. If you throw the right vegetables and stuff in there with the potatoes, things like some extra carrots, you know, with your meat and everything, it goes a long way. Or if you get a bone, throw like something in there for a bone broth. Again, we get some solid nutrition out of that, and it's really filling. Now, the pressing today, the closed grip floor press, was normal. I just did sets of 4. Felt relatively heavy. But what do we do here? Decided to go ahead and use a 55 today. Now, did I take a hit on the reps? Yes. Yes, I absolutely did. We did 3 sets of 4. I'm going to build with this, right? I'm going to build with this. And I might have lighter days like I did. You know, maybe once a week I might do like I did earlier this week. Sometimes if Wednesdays I'm not feeling it, I'll go lighter. So there'll be a little more volume and less weight. But again, getting strong on these pull-ups has worked wonders, right? This has worked wonders for the upper body regaining mass during this last part of my cut. I need to keep pushing pull-ups. And that's going to mean days like this where I drop as low as 4 reps for my work sets. Get that tension up, and then I can always have other days where I do 7 or 8 reps on it with a slightly lighter weight. Not a big deal. But pull-ups, dead hang pull-ups. And I want people to note, I lock my elbows at the bottom and I unpack the shoulders. We get a full stretch on it. Why? Because that is some of the most beneficial aspects of this exercise. You know, one of the perks of the pull-up is, number one, it moves the body through space, but you have such an enormous range of motion potential on this exercise. I mean, you need to think about all of the muscles that get developed by just going that last 2 to 3 inches at the bottom. Has so much long head of the tricep, upper chest, even extra bicep recruitment, that you're losing so much if you skip it. It's so valuable. And ideally you want to touch your chest at the top. You know, some of those last reps I'm not able to touch my chest. That's because I've pretty much reached failure, right? Means it's a limit set. So if I'm not able to get my chest to that bar, that's my last rep. That's muscle failure. Not able to quite complete the rep. But we still got the bottom, which is really, really beneficial for all these other support muscles. And you guys will see, I throw up a shot of my back at the end. People are like, you don't have a back. I always get this silly nonsense because the bodybuilders say that because I'm not a bodybuilder. And it's like, guys, all my strength training has built me a pretty serious back. Like, in all honesty, if you want to talk about training like a bodybuilder, the worst thing you could do for your back is train like a silly ass bodybuilder. Bodybuilders struggle with back development. They do. You don't see strength athletes who struggle to have a massive back. You don't see it. It's bodybuilders who struggle with that. And it's all these silly ass one-arm cable exercises and all of that nonsense. You get strong at your big lifts. You get strong at deadlifts, pull-ups, full range of motion rows, cleans. Your back is going to be monstrous. Even if you're not doing lots of reps. As long as the volume and tension is there, back development happens. Every big exercise adds to your back. Weighted dips add to your back. Squats add to your back, right? All of these exercises add to your back, not just the back work. If you get all around brutally strong, your back is going to be big. Those dead hang pull-ups, you guys need perspective. Keep in mind, that's 270 pounds for my work sets from a dead hang. It's not short stroking the bottom. I am coming to a complete lockout at the bottom. All right, 55 pounds plus 215 body weight. I'm doing my work sets with 270 on that. That builds your back. That builds your back. My whole routine, almost every exercise I do, will help build lats or some part of the trap or all these things that we think of in the back. It's the easiest part of your body to build. If you're on a serious strength training program, there's no reason to have a lagging back. It should actually be your least concern. You should never have to specialize in it because it's going to grow without you even worrying about it. It really is. And that's what you guys are going to see there. And that's the reason I threw that up there, just to make that point. Strength training will build your back without even having to just give it any actual thought. It's almost an afterthought. It's just going to happen by default. You don't need all these silly one-arm exercises and one-arm rows and cable rows and stuff because your back is going to be jacked from all of the pulling and everything else that you do. It's going to be jacked. As long as you're doing a lot of big, heavy, full range of motion exercises and enough variety. And again, that's where things like the pull-ups and deadlifts and, you know, even the press, the standing press here works your back. You can build your back partially off this exercise. That's the point, guys. Back is going to be jacked. It's going to be jacked. And then we did a couple sets of the Romanian deadlift, so just double overhand grip. I'm going to start working in as my hook grip comes back, as I practice a little. I'm going to start working some of these in with the hook grip also. But the grip is going to be the limit for these right now, and that's fine because it's rebuilding my lower back, rebuilding my hamstrings without them getting too fatigued. So that's what we're doing. And I've got a video tomorrow coming out on the Romanian deadlift. I think that's when I have it scheduled to come out, that I did a day or two ago. So you guys know the difference between that and a stiff leg, because people asked, and I thought, you know, people really need to know. So I'll break that down in a lot more detail, so stay tuned for that so you guys can understand what I'm doing on the Romanian deadlift and why. Because people who are saying, well, I don't like your form, you don't know how to perform the exercise or why we do it then. So after this, you guys will see a quick shot of my back just to finish up the workout so you guys can get an idea. I put it up on the fan page too. Yes, I'm at 17% body fat. Yes, I'm pale. Yes, I'm hairy. Yes, I still have some love handle and lower back fat, but you can't say that I don't have a back from the way that I train. Get serious. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.